Hey everybody, how's it going? Aaron Rift here along with good old JM, Jeff Meacham, back once again for yet another pay-per-view predictions video. How are you doing today, Jeff?
You know, I think I've been here more than I've been home with all these pay-per-views we've been doing.
It's getting to that point.
I'm almost just crash and just go over here and just chill.
Yeah, hopefully one of these days it doesn't end up being a pay-per-view every single week at the rate we're going.
You know, I wouldn't put it past McMahon. I would not at all.
I guess I should not call them pay-per-views at this point. I mean, they're special events.
Special events, yeah.
WWE wants them to all be network exclusives, and that will probably end up being the case eventually.
Well, you know, they still make money on the WrestleManias and the Rumbles and the SummerSlam Shows, but the other ones, they don't really make a whole lot of money on pay-per-view buys anymore because most people just stream them because they're not important enough. So they want them on the network, that way they can get more subscriptions and make more money that way, which makes sense.
Well, I've heard some talk that maybe for WrestleMania 32 they'll consider making that exclusive on traditional pay-per-view in order to get the buys for that and have all the other shows on the network. So that's a possibility.
Well, hopefully that'll be it, so it won't matter anyway.
Yeah, so pay-per-view, special event, mega event, whatever you want to call it, it is WWE Money in the Bank live on the network.
The one that's on TV on Sunday.
Yes.
That one.
We have 8 matches that have been announced at this point, which I think is a record for 2015.
I've got 7, but we'll go ahead
You
and
have
go
7?
with...
Do I have 8 here.
I have 6 plus pre-show.
Okay, well, we'll go through this. Let me see.
We'll go through.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think unless I'm a bad counter, which could be the case.
It could be. We'll see. All right, anyway, go ahead.
All right.
Right along.
Okay, first off, we have King Barrett versus R-Truth in the pre-show kickoff match.
Like I said on Raw, at least Truth's on the show. He got that part right. He's just not Money in the Bank ladder match. Ron.
Little bit of a difference.
Ron, there's a reason it's not allowed backstage anymore. Stop that. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, if he was going to get in trouble for that, then 90% of the roster would get in trouble for that.
This is true. I would venture a guess that they're finally going to have King Barrett stop jobbing. But then, again, you know, they seem to like Truth, and they seem to like... The fans love Truth. I do, too. But the King of the Ring has been jobbing since he won the crown. He's got to win a match at some point, right?
Right.
So you would think if it really didn't matter on the pre-show, they'll go ahead and say, give it to Barrett. So that's my pick. I'm going with King Barrett.
Well, I would like to say that King Barrett is going to win this match, but I could see WWE, for shits and giggles, having R-Truth win for that comedic, funny moment, which I think is ridiculous. I think King Barrett should win. He is the King of the Ring. If you're going to take the King of the Ring title seriously, he should win, but I have my doubts that WWE really does take it seriously at this point.
So are you saying it's not likely that King Barrett will win on Sunday?
Well, I want to say King Barrett, but I guess I'm going to say King Barrett. I think WWE will do the right thing here.
Let's hope so.
I would not be surprised if R-Truth somehow got the win here, and we're all just going to shake our heads, but whatever.
It's going to be one of those where either way with a win, I'm happy. I just prefer Barrett. Honestly.
I think Barrett's screwed in the long run. I think that his best days are behind him, but who knows? Maybe things will turn around for him.
Let's hope so.
And he can start that big comeback by an epic victory over R-Truth on the pre-show.
That's right.
All right, so moving on to the main card, we have the Divas Championship, Nikki Bella defending against Paige.
Yeah, I've been a big proponent of the Divas division. I've been talking about them ever since I came back to this channel, and I expect a decent match, no question about that. I expect that both of these girls will try to show that the Divas division is something to still be taken seriously, and I firmly believe that we will have a new Divas champion one way or the other.
Now, I have to ask you, has Nikki beaten AJ's streak yet?
No. AJ was 294, I want to say. Nikki's not, I don't know, she's either not quite or just over 200.
Somebody out there can give us the exact numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to say Paige will win this, but once again, I have this funny feeling that Nikki Bella is going to end AJ's record as the longest reigning Divas champion.
Yeah, AJ was at 295. I'm getting the information up right now as we keep talking here. Either way, you know, I want to think they're going to let Because Nikki's been champion since November. And
Yeah,
that's a long time for the Divas division.
I feel it's time for a change.
Was champion for
I feel it's time
days,
for a change. I thought there was time for a change at the last pay-per-view / mega event. I thought that there should be a new champion at that show, but that didn't end up happening.
By the time Sunday rolls around, it'll be just over 200 days for Nikki Bella.
So there's still ways to go. So maybe I think Paige should win. If it was my call, I would go with Paige, but
me too.
I think I'm going to have to actually officially predict Nikki to retain because I sense that WWE's going to go in that direction.
Because they're trying to erase AJ from history.
Not because Nikki's the best diva in the history of the company, but because there's a certain record by a certain diva who's married to a certain superstar, and they want to break that record for political reasons.
Of course. Well, so, I will still have the sentimental pick and go with Paige.
I would like Paige to win, but I'm going with Nikki.
Okay.
All right, let's move on here to the WWE Tag Team Championship. The Primetime Players are challenging the New Day. And I'm assuming that this will be Xavier and Big E.
Right, because Kofi's in Money in the Bank.
Right.
But it doesn't mean Kofi won't get involved.
I'm sure he will.
In some way or another. So, the New Day is the hot hand right now in the tag team division. No question about that. I'm not a fan of the gimmick. You are. I know you are now. But I'm not a fan of the gimmick, but they are the hot hand, and I predict they will continue their reign on Sunday. I don't think... Yes, Primetime Players are also a hot ticket right now. The fans love Darren and Titus, but they also love to hate New Day, I think, that much more.
Yeah.
So I think having them as champions makes for better storylines.
Yeah.
So I think they'll retain.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the Primetime Players got in this spot and they're getting this push because Titus recently was named the Father of the Year.
Could be.
But then again, he did get beat on Raw. So
he did, but you know, just because he got beat on Raw doesn't mean he'll lose Sunday. So, you know, maybe the momentum will swing back in their favor on SmackDown this week. Yeah. Who knows?
I think it's too soon for the New Day to lose the titles.
Yes.
I think there's a little bit of a chance that the Primetime Players could win, but it doesn't make sense to me right now. I think the safe bet is New Day retaining the tag team titles.
Alrighty.
Alright, so moving on here to the IC title match. Ryback or the Ryback. I can't even say it.
That's
the
right.
Ryback.
The Ryback.
I always call him Ryback. It's hard to pronounce.
I just call him Skippy. Because it's Skip Sheffield. I just call him Skippy.
Yeah, so the Ryback or Ryback versus the Big Show for the IC title match.
And here's a main event match if there ever was one, huh? A couple of guys who... Ryback's finally got the hot ticket behind him. He's the Intercontinental Champion. He's got the belt that is the Workhorse Championship, so he should be one of the best wrestlers in the company. But he's not. And you got Big Show, who I think is a tweener today. I'm not sure where he stands, because he was picking on picking on Miz, but then he was facing Ryback. But then he was knocking out Miz, but then he was... Where do you stand, Paul? Come on now! So, and Ryback just got the championship 2 weeks ago. He's not going to lose it just yet.
No way
he's not going to lose it just yet.
No way he's losing it. I did not like the build-up for this match on Raw.
I don't either.
I felt like if you're going to do this match, you have two monsters. It's like Godzilla versus King Kong. You should have them going crazy trying to just destroy everybody and everything in their paths. You know, they could have done a segment on Raw where things get out of control. There's a brawl. You have referees. You have officials coming out. They're choke slamming. They're shell shocking. They're doing all this crazy stuff, destroying the dasher boards, destroying ringside.
But not to each other like they did end up doing.
Yeah.
They had him shell shock Big Show.
Yeah.
On Monday. It was like, what's the point of watching the show? We know he can do it.
And the thing is, Big Show, shouldn't he be getting the heat leading into the pay-per-view that maybe this guy is dominant, he's going to win the title? Instead, Ryback already took out his challenger, so why is Big Show worthy of challenging for the title?
Yeah, and why do either one of these high-caliber superstars need an antagonist little shit like Miz to poke him?
And you have Big Show out there doing a promo and the crowd's wutting him. I don't know. Just not a fan of the build-up.
No.
The match might turn out to be decent, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it at all.
Very much doubt it.
So yeah, I'm going with Ryback. I think you're going with Ryback
as
too.
am I, yes.
Alright, so let's move on here to the 3 main event matches. First off, the singles match, which is not for any title, once again.
It's a matter of pride, damn it.
So, For some reason, we have John Cena versus Kevin Owens 2. No reason for doing the match. It's like right when the match ended, they had the graphic. Oh, next pay-per-view, we're doing the match again. Okay.
Yeah, literally. We were watching it here within 15 minutes.
Yeah.
They had the graphic up for the new match.
Yeah, they didn't even bother to have a storyline reason for why they're doing the rematch. No titles on the line once again. Just, hey, we're just going to do it again. Whatever.
Well, it's a matter of, Cena had his pride hurt. I'm sure Cena, in the context of the storyline, went to the authority and was like, okay, he beat me. Let's see if he can do it again.
They didn't even show any of this stuff.
They didn't show that. I'm just saying. They want us to buy into that. They want us to believe that.
Yeah.
Believe that. So, Cena's pride was wounded. He got beat by the upstart indie guy turned NXT champion.
His pride was wounded because he came out on Raw and seemed like he was totally fine to me.
Well, that could be. I think he's putting on. I think he feels he has something to prove now because Owens beat him straight up, which nobody expected him to do.
Yeah, but Kevin Owens not a real man.
Well, that's John Cena's opinion. I am a fan of John Cena and not a fan of Kevin Owens. Let me make that clear right now. But I see the value in having Kevin Owens continue to get one up on John Cena and be pushed as a main event star going into the next few months while he is still the NXT champion, the NXT standard bearer. Nobody has got NXT exposure as champion quite like Kevin Owens has in the last 2 months or so. He's been dominating everybody in NXT left and right. He's taken out his best friend more than once. And now he's like John Cena said, he is the face that runs the place. And Owens powerbombed him in the middle of the ring and pinned him 1, 2, 3. And very few people can say they've beat John Cena clean in the middle of the ring. But Kevin Owens, the guy who wouldn't last in WWE, the guy who would never make it WWE in the first place, the guy who would be an indie guy the rest of his life, beat John Cena. So now Cena has something to prove this Sunday. Will he prove it? I don't think he will. I think Owens goes 2-0.
WWE is really hoping for the crowd energy, the dynamic you have. On one hand, the guy who represents the adult male wrestling fans, the guy who is doing this for his family, his wife and his kid, and then you have John Cena, the guy who never gives up and helps all the sick children. Who are you going to root for? And WWE wants there to be a very loud, energetic audience that is back and forth. And as far as who wins this is a tough call for me because I do not see John Cena losing 2 pay-per-views in a row. I would be surprised if it happened again. What I think is more likely to happen is some sort of disputed finish, maybe a double count out, double DQ, something to where there's no clear winner, and that way, at that point, they can go their separate ways, unless John Cena beats him and then next month at Battleground they do a 3rd match, a so-called rubber match inside a steel cage or whatever, and John Cena beats him there.
I don't know why, but I think Owens is going to win. I just have a funny feeling.
Well, on the NoDQ.com, Paul Owens is actually the favorite. So a lot of people think he's going to beat Cena twice, which that is I think untreaded waters.
Twice in a row at that.
I mean, when has John Cena ever lost twice in a row to somebody?
Not that I can recall in the last 11 years he's been champion on top of the world.
Yeah. I'm officially going to go with a no contest, but this one I think could go anyway. It could be Cena winning, it could be Owens winning, it could be no contest. I really feel there's a decent chance of anything happening in this match. So it's going to be the most intriguing match on the show, no doubt. And there's a special stipulation on NoDQForums.com.
Okay.
If Kevin Owens beats John Cena by pinfall, submission, or referee stoppage, Gilberto from the NoDQ group will be banned for 30 days.
Wow.
I'm sure that would please you very much.
You know what? I'm not in the group anymore, so whatever you guys decide to do, my beef with him is long since passed. So if you feel the need to remove him in 30 days because Owens gets another clean win, that's your prerogative.
All right, so you're going with Owens. I'm going with
Owens straight up again. I just got a bad feeling for Cena.
Okay. So moving on here to the Money in the Bank ladder match. We have Roman Reigns, Sheamus, Neville, Dolph Ziggler, Kane, Kofi Kingston, and Randy Orton.
This is going to be something because you got to figure this is going to go on about halfway through the show. and we'll have the title match just to tease that we might get a cash in at the end of the night.
Exactly.
But I've been watching the product the last few weeks, 2 weeks now, and I don't know why I have a feeling that I might be wrong with the tag title situation, and the primetime players will win, and then Kofi wins Money in the Bank that way. Because Xavier's been saying all along that if he wins, we all win. Mm-hmm. So I think that Xavier and Big E will try to invoke the Freebird rule with the contract, and Kofi will go, wait a minute, I won the contract, and that'll be the start of the tension between the New Day.
That's an interesting storyline.
So that's my first choice, is Kofi Kingston.
Wow, Jeff going with Kofi.
I'm going
Kingston.
with Kofi. My son loves Kofi, so I gotta go with the family route. My other choice is the obvious choice, and that's Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Roman has had a very long year already. He won the Rumble amidst a loud chorus of boos. Even with his cousin The Rock in the ring, they still booed him out of the building. He got shafted out of the main event of WrestleMania by having Seth Rollins cash in at the end of that match after a decent fight between him and Lesnar, let's be honest. And then he took the Big Show out at Extreme Rules. Dumped an entire announce table over the top of the Giant.
Yeah.
Roman is what WWE wants him to be right now, and he might just climb that ladder and win it all. So that's my second choice. Kofi and then Roman.
Right. Well, on NoDQ.com there was a poll, and Roman Reigns was the overwhelmingly favorite to win.
Yep.
That is the very obvious prediction. You know, a lot of people have actually mentioned Kofi, like WWE possibly going to swerve everybody and have Kofi win, because everyone's looking ahead to the live event in Japan on 4th of July where it's going to be Kofi Kingston versus Brock Lesnar. Everyone's wondering what the hell's going on here with Kofi. Is there something to this? I honestly think people are looking too much into it. I think the Kofi match with Brock Lesnar is designed to get Brock Lesnar over as a monster. Kofi's going to bump like crazy for him, and it's going to be a massacre. Mm-hmm. And I think Kofi's in the Money in the Bank match to be part of the spots. He's going to be the guy taking all the crazy bumps.
That's Kofi always does Money in the Bank. That's his job. He took over Shelton Benjamin.
I do think there's a decent possibility we'll see the New Day members come out and try to help him win, and they will try to do something. That's actually a very interesting idea for that match. But I think I'm going to have to go with the safe pick, and that's Roman Reigns to win, just because I see a potential Reigns versus Ambrose feud, and Roman can possibly cash it in on Rollins. There's a lot of different things they can do. It makes sense for Roman Reigns to win. As predictable as it is, that seems to be the way to go for the future storylines and having him get involved in the WWE title picture. Excuse me. So, yeah, I'm going with Reigns to win. And final match is a WWE World Heavyweight Championship ladder match. Seth Rollins defending against Dean Mother Effin' Ambrose.
That's right. I think whoever wins Money in the Bank will determine the outcome of this match. I think if Roman wins the contract, it doesn't matter who wins. Roman will cash in and win that night. Sunday. If anybody else wins, Seth will retain the title. That's my pick.
Well, I'm going with Seth regardless. I think Seth's going to win Money in the Bank, especially coming off a Raw. Dean Ambrose got the best of him at the end, but that doesn't guarantee anything, because Owens got the best of Cena 2 weeks in a row and then still beat him.
Yeah.
At Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I think if anybody but Roman wins the contract, Seth will retain and leave Columbus with the championship belt. I can't say belt, I know Vince, sorry. With the championship intact. If Roman wins the contract, it does not matter who wins the title match, because Roman will leave as champion. And
it's interesting because, we've talked about over the past couple weeks how over-friendly Roman Reigns has been with Dean Ambrose.
Exactly.
And it does seem like that's going to lead to something. And maybe we're going to get that Shield Triple Threat match next month, or SummerSlam, or sometime over the next several months.
Could be.
It's going to be an interesting show, whatever happens in the ladder match. I'm expecting something, whether it's Roman Reigns coming out, cashing in, or interfering, costing Dean Ambrose the match. Something's going to go down.
Considering we had the Authority all but abandon Rollins on Monday, something has to give.
Well, maybe that's just a swerve. Maybe they'll all be buddies again. Who knows? But I'm going with Seth Rollins to retain. It seems like this match was designed for Dean Ambrose to lose without actually having to be pinned or made to submit.
Right.
So I'm going with Rollins to retain. Okay. And that'll do it for our predictions.
Okay, so it was 7. Okay.
Yeah. Was it 7?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't know how to count.
I don't know. It's okay.
That's why I'm doing this. I'm not a mathematician.
That's right.
But anyways, that'll wrap it up. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest regarding Money in the Bank. Stay tuned to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about the video. Let us know your predictions for the show. And we will see you guys next time.